Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful May day. Mona, good morning.
Good morning, Clyde. It is beautiful outside. I think I'm going to be able to go for a good walk today, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good day for it. We've gone from winter to summer with no spring in between. But you know what? Why complain? It's nice and warm out there.
That's right.
And it's a great day to celebrate National Grape Popsicle Day. Yep, this is National Grape Popsicle Day. It's got an interesting history behind it, kind of a who knew, if you will, because it started out, Grape Popsicles did, as an accident. Back in 1911, a kid named Frank Epperson had mixed together soda and water on his front porch and was stirring it with a stick, went inside, left that outside. It froze overnight, and when he came back, voila, who knew? He had invented what essentially turned out to be the popsicle. Later on, he patented it. He called it originally the Ep-sicle, since his name was Epperson. And ultimately, yeah, right, and ultimately decided, nah, that's not going to be that marketable, and came up with popsicle, since it started out as the makings of a pop. So there you have it, and I see you're,
Clyde,
you're celebrating the day.
I am, and it is so delicious. I am a lover of popsicles. So I had some in my freezer, and yeah, this is great to be able to eat a popsicle while I'm doing the show. Because
you're at home, in the comforts of home, not like some folks who have to work in a studio.
That's right. I'm so sorry, Clyde. I would offer you one. Hey, but speaking of young kids doing some great things, you know, there was a kid who who graduated in California. He graduated at age 13 with 4 associate degrees from a school called Fullerton College. Yes, and he said, you know, he's not finished with his education. He said, yeah, you know, I'm only 13, so I don't want to rush it. But he is getting a full scholarship to the University of Nevada, and he said he just loves to learn. Young people doing great things, Clyde.
So let me understand here, 4 associate's degrees by the age of 13.
Yes, that is correct. Can you believe it? In 2 years. Right. It took him 2 years, just 2 years, to get 4 associate's degrees.
Wow, it took me 2 years to get out of the first grade, so I can fully imagine how proud his parents have to be. You know, so that's great, though. That is great.
It is. It makes you think. What was I doing at 13?
Vaguely remember.
Nothing in comparison. Right.
Kids in science.
But you know,
kids in science.
Kids in science, they love it. So, Clyde, you've got a story about kids in science, so take it away.
If you take a moment to go outside and look, really look at the world around you, you'll soon discover that science is everywhere, even in your backyard. And it's realizations like this that fuel the online show Science Around Cincy. And right now, I want to welcome Chris Anderson. He's the host of Science Around Cincy. Chris, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Hey, so you've had some pretty fun episodes on your channel, one of which involves things you can find in your backyard. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's right. So one of our episodes we filmed out at the Cincinnati Nature Center, and they have a whole native plant greenhouse, which is really great because those native plants you can actually buy and plant in your own yard. And that's really important because it provides a habitat for pollinators. So that's good for your garden, that's good for all the other plants, but it also makes a habitat for things like birds and other insects and, you know, reptiles and amphibians. So you can really see a whole entire ecosystem right out of your backyard.
How about that? That's great. Okay, so talk a little bit now about some of the fossils that you discuss on your show that we can find in our area. Like what kind?
Oh, we are actually in one of the best places in the entire planet for fossils. So the bedrock in Cincinnati is around 450 million years old. So it's like almost 500 million years old, which is really only about a tenth of the age of the planet. But there was this whole ocean that was covering Cincinnati at the time, filled with all sorts of really strange creatures. And what Brenda Hunda from the Cincinnati Museum Center and I did, we went out looking for some of these fossils. So there's things like brachiopods, which look like little shells, and they were filter feeders. There were things that they're called crinoids. They looked like hands sticking out of the bottom of the ocean, and you can see them in the rock. They're look like little circles because they're kind of cut lengthwise right through the rock. So and then of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Please ask your question.
No, I was just going to say, so where would I look? I mean, do I go out in my backyard in Sims Township and find really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So especially like in creek beds, right, where some of the rock is exposed, and what you're looking for is limestone, and it's a gray rock. It's not like shale where comes off in sheets. It's gray. But what you can do is if you have a little bit of acid, so like some lemon juice or some vinegar, you can drop a little bit on that rock and it'll start fizzing. And that's how you can tell if it's limestone. If it doesn't fizz, it's another type of rock, whether, shale or sandstone, or maybe you might even find a piece of granite somewhere around here. But you're looking for a gray rock, limestone. You can, like I said, you can find them in creek beds. And if you just go look, you'll likely find lots of fossils because this ocean was just filled with life, but it was nothing like you've ever seen. There were no fish, there were no sharks. It was just it was like a completely different planet.
All right, Chris, so people who are looking to find out more about this or other topics that you cover on your show, how can they find Science Around Cincy?
Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are starting to do our second season. We're starting to produce some more stuff, and we've done a lot of stuff on public health. So like why washing your hands is important, herd immunity, things like that. So definitely check that out. And then we update all the time on social media at Sci Around Cincy.
Okay. All right, Chris. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now is the time that families are traditionally starting to think about summer camp. But during these uncertain times, do you really want to send your child out into a group? Well, that's why a local theater company has created an at-home summer camp for your budding actor. And right now, I want to welcome Jeremy Dubin from the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company. Thanks for talking to us. You just announced your virtual summer camp. Tell us how it works and why you decided to offer it this way.
Well, why we wanted to offer it was summer camp is absolutely one of our favorite times of the year at Cincinnati Shakespeare Company. We do a lot of educational programs. Camp, I think, is my favorite. It's always amazing to watch. Over 5 days, the community that these students create and the ensemble that they create, and that carries on throughout the year. And they're making lifelong friends, and they really are developing a community, a true community. And we know how important that is to them. It's important to us as well. So we knew whatever the circumstances were this summer, that camp was going to go forward in some way or another. So we made the decision to put it online because health and safety of them, of our staff, of the families of everyone involved was first and foremost in our mind. So we made that decision, and once we did, it's been fascinating developing how this is going to happen. And we've been talking with parents, we've been talking with teachers, we've been talking with students a lot who have been living online for the past couple months. Go, great, what works, what doesn't, what do you want out of this experience? Making sure that as we move forward, that sense of community is also being carried forward.
Can you give us an example of what a daily schedule will look like?
Sure, absolutely. And we're still tweaking this as we go, as we're continuing to learn. But we'll all meet in the morning, and we'll be in a big Zoom room to start, and we'll do some kind of group warm-up. It's been very cool. We've been talking to other theaters around the country who are all dealing with this, right? And there was a whole great thing of how do we take some of these theater games that everyone loves and knows and adapt them specifically to be played online. So there are things that are geared towards We're taking advantage of the platform that we're on to use that to create the games that we're going to play. So we'll get together, we'll warm up, we'll play some games. After that, we'll do what I'm calling our daily theater challenge. That's something to try, as many of these activities are, try and get folks away from the screen for a little bit. So it may be, hey, here's a scavenger hunt. You have to find these 5 Shakespearean items. We're going to put on Hamlet. So we need a skull, we need this, we need some daggers, so go in your house and find what can you use to take the place of those things for our production. Then we'll all come back together and see how we did. Then we'll do a masterclass. We have guests coming in from, and that's the other great thing about this. We're no longer limited to just people who are here in the city. We have guests coming in from all over the country, in some cases all over the world, to come in and teach some masterclasses for our kids, right? And that may be in dialects, or maybe we are determined to figure out how we're going to do stage combat online, but we're going to do it, right? We're going to have an online stage combat class. So we'll do some of that. After that, level a break, get some lunch, people go away from the screen again. We'll come back. We're going to do rehearsals for we're creating performance projects that we're going to present at the end of the week. And then after that, we may do some kind of craft activity where we have some of our production team coming in to go, hey, here's a video tutorial in doing combat makeup, right? Here's how to give yourself a scar. Here's how to make stage blood. Or we might do, hey, here's a make your own Shakespeare-themed COVID mask, and here's how to do that. Our folks are hard at work doing those things.
If people want to get more information or want to sign up, how can they do that, Jeremy?
They can head on over to our website. That is cincyshakes.com, CINCY shakes.com. There's a tab for education, and virtual summer camp has all the info and registration right there.
All right, Jeremy, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you. What a pleasure.
Germs and bacteria can be anywhere, and no surprise, even on your garbage cans. But do you really want to try and scrub those big cans out by yourself? Well, there's a solution to keep you and your family safe from bacterial infections. And here now to tell us more about it, I want to welcome Howard Cooper. He is the owner of Ohio Clean Cans. Howard, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you so much, Clyde.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your company, what you're in business to do.
Okay, so we're a residential and commercial pressure washing company. We focus on cleaning your nasty garbage cans. It was born out of a need, basically. I moved into a new neighborhood, and the HOA rules said that I had to make sure my garbage cans are actually put into my garage. Well, I have dogs, and when you have dogs, unfortunately, your garage smells pretty bad.
Yeah,
to say the least. So I did some research, found out that there are garbage cleaning companies in other states, but not in Ohio. So basically what I ended up doing was doing a bit of research, going to different companies, checking out all the different equipment, and then I started the company a couple years ago.
Okay, so folks sitting at home are going to want to know, how does this work? How do I know my can's going to be clean?
Yeah, so what we do is we show up on the same day your garbage cans get emptied via Rumpke or CSI or whomever. You just leave them at your curb. We show up later in the afternoon. What we do is we load the cans onto our truck. We have a hopper. It turns it upside down. We use 200+ degree water with very high pressure, no chemicals to clean it. And it basically gets rid of all the dirt and grime, all the solid waste, all of the water. As I said, it goes into this hopper. And then what we do is we filter the water through a 16-stage filtration system. In essence, what that does, it turns it better than gray water, so then we dispose of it safely. We finish it by doing a sanitize, which actually kills all the viruses, including the human coronavirus. And then we put a fresh scent blast in it, which ultimately it'll turn your garage smelling beautiful for a change. So yeah, I'll tell you what, when we first started the company, we thought it was a great idea. People loved the idea. But the thing we didn't realize is people would call me and say, Howard, my garage smells wonderful. Please. Yeah. So okay. That's basically the process.
That's cool. Right quick, because we're running out of time, but right quick, some of the other services you offer?
Yeah, we clean, look, we do clean and seal driveways. We can sanitize outdoor playground equipment. You know, basically anything that needs to be cleaned and sanitized, we can do it.
So Howard, how can people sign up for your services?
they go to our website, ohioqueencans.com, and they can choose monthly, quarterly, an annual plan, or a one-time cleaning.
All right, Howard, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you, Clyde.
Well, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, we'll introduce you to a teenager who is making a name for herself. And her name is Erika Franklin, and she specializes in fabulous fanny packs. We'll tell you how she got started and more about her nonprofit as well. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Do you remember what you were doing at 13? Now, maybe, like Mona and me, you were dreaming about your first love. Or maybe you were trying to avoid household chores. That was another thing I did a lot at 13. But at 13, our next guest, along with her business partner, has started her own company with a fashion line, a line of fanny packs, and a nonprofit. This is incredible, isn't it, Mona?
Wow, it is so incredible. She is incredible. And right now, I want to welcome Erika Franklin.
Yes.
And she is a 13-year-old designer. And welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, I just feel like such a slacker at 13. But you are phenomenal. So tell me how you got into this, how you decided to make your passion into a business.
Well, when I was younger, I was always really creative. And first I started off making doll clothes. And then I started getting real clothes and accessories, and then I found fanny packs.
Well, you brought some of these today, so tell us what goes into making items like this, and talk about some of these you brought.
Well, for example, like this Star Wars one, most of these fanny packs are created to your liking. So if you have a certain job, like if you're a teacher, you can get a fanny pack made like a teacher. Yes.
Okay, and so you bedazzle them, you sparkle them all up.
Yes.
And tell me how you decide which sparkles go with what and what colors you're going to use.
Well, usually with the fanny packs, I just use pins, patches, but it does, have an eye when it comes to certain things. So, but say if the customer likes red and black, I could put red and black rhinestones, red and black patches, and add my own twist to it.
Well, you have a really great eye for this design.
Thank you.
What's the toughest part about being an entrepreneur?
The toughest part about being a young entrepreneur is balancing my homeschool, and I also swim and my nonprofit and things like that. But with the help of my team and my business partner, it seems to all come together. Yes.
Okay, it obviously does. And you also run a nonprofit.
Yes, I do.
Talk about that.
Well, I run a nonprofit called My Chocolate Don't Melt. It is a nonprofit to inspire young girls to be themselves. And it's not rather you get knocked down, it's rather you get back up.
Oh, good. So what piece of advice would you give other 13-year-olds and older people about starting your own business?
Be patient. Work hard and work smart.
And work smart. Oh, that is great. Good, really good advice for all of us. I cannot get away without mentioning how great your glasses are as well.
You.
They are sparkly and you're doing it. Erika, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there somewhere where people can get more information?
Oh, yes. All these fanny packs will be on Etsy.com, so just look up Fanny So Fab, and my Instagram is @itsfashionista_Franklin.
You rock, Erika. Thank you so much.
Boy, do I feel like an underachiever. Okay, we'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, Cincy Lifestyle has full episodes of the show up on YouTube. You can find fun segments you've never seen before or watch some of your favorites again and again. Make sure to subscribe right now on youtube.com/Cincy Lifestyle. Stay with us. We'll be back with more. All right, a quick look outside this morning. As you can see, some sunshine out there and a few billowy, cottony, puffy clouds in the sky as well. I kind of miss some of the advice we get about how to describe this, but it's beautiful.
It is beautiful is the word, Clyde. You did great. So coming up tomorrow on Cincy Lifestyle, an artist from across the pond. Okay, that was a really bad accent. He's going to talk about using art as a form of therapy. We'll show you the street style and of Rich Simmons, and we're going to talk about his organization called Art is the Cure. Plus, we'll tell you where you can check out his work locally.
All righty, then we flex our history muscles and teach you about another Cincinnati curiosity. This one involves the first bathhouse to ever come to the tri-state and some of the latest bathing suit trends of the 1800s. We'll have all that and so much more happening tomorrow right here on Cincy Lifestyle.
Hey, and you know what, Clyde? Speaking of tomorrow, it's time to plan your next getaway. Yay! So be sure to tune in tomorrow to WCPO 9 to join Allie Martin, our Allie. Our little girl's grown up, and she's going to explore travel destinations that are just a road trip away. So be sure to watch tomorrow night at 7:30 right here on WCPO 9.
Well, she and I are going to have a socially distant lunch today, Mona, so I'll tell her you send your love.
Please do enjoy, and I would tell you to bring me something, but yeah, I'm preventing people from coming to my house right now. So, but that's Cincy Lifestyle for today, Wednesday, May 27th. Hey, reach out to us. We love it when you do. You can give us a call or email or check us out on Facebook. Talk to us. Let us know if you have ideas for the show. It's been a pleasure serving you today, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a great day. Thanks for watching our video, and if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.